Tatum. Hey, congratulations for the Artifice Girl.
Thank you.
You certainly made this movie. Your performance was terrific. I do have to commend you on this part.
I appreciate that.
But we have to ask is what initially drew you to this very unique project?
I actually knew the director, Franklin Rich. Ever since I was 9, we worked on a theater show first together. And he was like, hey, I'm writing the script. I think you'd be a great fit for the role of Cherry. And I was like, that is really cool because, I mean, obviously the script is absolutely incredible and it's written so amazingly. But the character, I was really excited to play her because I've never done anything really quite like her. And so I was just really excited and ready for any challenges that it would bring. But I kind of like challenges because it does keep you on your toes, and I was really excited to get working on it.
I was gonna say, how do you even approach a character like Cherry? I mean, she's, you know, her demeanor like changes so much throughout this entire film. I mean, how do you do it? What goes on through your head?
I actually just wanted to approach her as just like a real normal girl, even though she's not, she's an AI. But I think that humans bring a quality of spontaneity that AIs will probably never quite be able to bring and match. But she's meant to fool these people into thinking she is real. And so I wanted that to be really natural and authentic. And so I kind of just approached her regularly, and then I just found those little moments where I can make it seem like something was a little bit off and that she was not quite real, and you could tell a little bit.
I how do you how much practice did you actually have to keep that stoic pose for some of these certain scenes? Because I'm like watching was going, you're barely moving. I don't know how you're doing this.
I mean, we did a lot of Zoom rehearsals where we just practiced things just like that and going through the script and finding those moments where it was just still, like she wasn't talking and it was just still. And maybe she'd like move her head in a natural way. And a big thing that I focused on was her blinking. I researched a little bit about AIs and found out that they blink a lot. And so I wanted to make that very known and in time. So that was kind of constantly in my head, but also just little things where I could just make the audience be like, whoa, that's just kind of like it's different and it's not real, but it comes off real until I do a little something where it makes it seem like, oh yep, there it is. So practicing those moments definitely took a lot of time, but it turned out great in the end.
What else did you discover during your research about AI?
Um, I really discovered a lot actually recently because it's been talked about so much. So I've used ChatGPT and the Lens app. I think it's really cool that AIs are able to do things like create art and write essays. And the talk in my school right now is the AI on Snapchat. And everyone's like, have you seen like your AI? And I like it's really cool that it is so with like every generation right now, and that everyone is just talking about it and is really passionate about it. We're really excited though, because we feel like it's the perfect time for a movie to come out because people are already starting conversations about it.
It is kind of funny because the viewpoints on AI is a generational thing. You know, me being an older generation, we're kind of more resistant, but it sounds like you're very much, very open as a young person towards AI.
Yeah, I definitely am. And I think it's really cool, but it's also kind of scary where it might take our future. I mean, it's kind of just like you never know what's next, and it could happen sooner than we think, and it could happen a little bit later. So I'm definitely open to it. But I'm kind of fascinated by it right now, I think.
So what do you the most fascinating thing about this movie, it raises ethical questions. So what is your position on the ethical questions that are raised by this film?
I don't really think I should say mine because I really want this to be like for the audience. They can have their own opinion about it. And I want it to just incite conversation and be like, oh, I didn't catch that, or oh, that's different. That's different than what I thought, but that's a really good point. Like I just kind of want people to think of it in whatever they want. And just kind of have their own views because I don't want to influence anyone's opinions about it.
Now, 2/3 of your performance is on screen, like we're talking right now. How was it set up for you to act? Do you see them in the other room, or do you just act against a camera?
I was actually, yeah, I was in a separate room from them. I was in a completely different room. And I was kind of by myself, and there was this camera in front of me, and then there was a wall next to me, and they were in the room with the wall. And so I was kind of listening to them through the wall, basically. And so it was all in real time. None that's pre-recorded. None of my part is. So it was definitely like different for me and kind of kept me on my toes because I was listening for my cue right next to me, and but I wasn't in the room with them, so I couldn't really see their faces. But I was able to, thankfully, they were so amazing about showing the emotion through their voice. And so I was picturing what they would sound like in me being in that room. And that just really helped me to picture that camera in front of me being all of their faces.
Was it kind of weird or awkward to act like this?
A little bit at times, but I think it was definitely a really good challenge for me, and I've learned a lot from it. So I'm really grateful for this experience.
And I do actually say you have a great scene partner with Lance, and I idolize Lance, but you're fairly young. Do you know who Lance was before you took the project?
Yeah, I mean he is a sci-fi legend, and he definitely deserves that title that goes with his name. He was so amazing and really just down to earth, which I absolutely love to see in celebrities, because when they just seem like a normal person, it's like, wow, that's really cool because you can be doing all these things, but you still seem so normal and have such great conversations. So yeah, he was just great, and he had a nickname for me, funny enough, that was Muhammad Ali, and kind of after every take, he'd be like, Muhammad Ali, and it would just give me a little bit of confidence after every take. And he was just a really good guy and gave me a lot of advice and wisdom that he knows from the industry.
And that final act, was it a relief that you could, as an AI, spill all out your emotions?
I think it's definitely a relief for Cherry, and that's just when she lets it all go. When it's built up so much that it's like right on the surface, and she's just like, I'm gonna do it. And then after that, I feel like she's so relieved, and she's gotten it out, and they can talk through all of this trauma and all of these problems that they're having. And I think that it might be a little bit of a sad way to end on it, but also a little bit suspenseful. And just kind of, I hope it makes people feel good though that she was able to get it out, and that AIs can really have that much emotion. It's crazy.
I think this is an excellent film. You've done wonderfully, but Tatum, I do have to ask this question. How do I know I'm not speaking to an AI right now?
Because I'm right here. I'm just normal. I know. I wonder if people will think of me in this way. It's really cool though that I'm able to represent AI in such a way, and AI is a really cool and a cool thing that has just so recently come up, and I'm really excited for the world to see this film, and I hope that incites conversation with that.
It's a wonderful film, and it's definitely a conversation starter. Tatum, thank you very much for carrying this conversation with us. Thank you.
Thank you, and I'm glad you liked it.
Appreciate it. Bye now.
Bye bye.